Ah, shit. Guess I gotta review this movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, starring Nicholas Cantu, Brady Noon, Shaman Brown Jr., Micah Abbey, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, and Ice Cube, is a story about how after years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. Their new friend April O'Neil helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. Let me first get it out of the way that I'm not the biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I never grew up on the show. I haven't seen any of the other movies. This is really the first time that I have ever been exposed to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IP. And I thought it was a great time. I had fun. It was entertaining. It was quick. It got to the point. And overall, I just had a good time with the movie. So let's get into some of the specifics about it. Starting off with the animation, as many of you have probably already heard, the animation in this movie is really good. It's obviously, again, as many people have mentioned before, heavily inspired off of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I definitely agree with that it is definitely inspired by it, but it has some uniqueness to it that makes it its own as well. We're definitely in this new age of animation where people can be more expressive and creative and do whatever they want with animation, and it's really cool to see that. Jackie Chan as Splinter was absolutely amazing in this movie. His character was by far, I believe, the most complex out of everybody. You could definitely see him changing, and I really think that that's because of Jackie Chan's performance, and he was really funny as well. But more on the funny side, Ice Cube was absolutely hilarious in this movie. He did an absolutely amazing job as Superfly in delivering almost every single line. There's one specific line that me and my dad, while watching this, laughed at, and then like 10 seconds later we just both started laughing again because it was so funny just how he delivered the line, and it was perfect. Just thinking about it, as you can see, makes me laugh now. And the other really, really, really good thing about this movie was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was filled with absolute bangers. I would argue that it is by far the best soundtrack of the year. There's one specific montage that is one of the best montage action sequences of the year that's over No Diggity. It was just an absolutely amazing action sequence, and I was loving every single second of it. Now let's get into some of the okay things about this movie. The Turtles in April are fine. They exist. They're in the movie. They don't really do anything that you wouldn't expect. They're just what you would expect, I'm assuming, out of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles product. They're there and they serve their characters. It's a very reasonably paced movie. It's an hour and a half, and it definitely feels like an hour and a half. And then something else that I noticed, just as somebody that goes to the movie theaters a bunch, it wasn't full at all. We went Thursday at 8:30 p.m., so you'd expect a decently small crowd, but there was literally nobody in me and my dad's row, and there was a solid 8 seats in the row, and it was just me and him. There was a couple people behind us, but outside of that, there really wasn't anybody in that theater, which makes me a little worried because they have a post-credit scene that kind of sets up a sequel to this movie, and I really hope that it gets made because I enjoyed this movie, and I'm sure that I'll enjoy the next one as well. So I hope that a lot of people go out this weekend to go see this movie. Now let's get into some of the negatives about this movie. There's one specific joke that they overuse and kind of beat it into the ground just over and over again. They probably use it at least 10 times. Like, it gets pretty beat into the ground. And overall, the movie is really dense with jokes, and that's to its detriment at some times. There were some pretty emotional moments that there probably shouldn't have been jokes in, and they just kind of laugh it off. And the movie doesn't take itself as serious as it needs to get some of the messages across. But it's not the biggest issue to ever have with a movie. And this is obviously a movie suited more for kids. The plot has a lot, like, it goes just wild in the third act, and you just kind of have to turn your brain off and have fun with what's going on. There's a lot of just corny, silly moments that are fun. They're fine, but from a story perspective, they make absolutely no sense. But my biggest issue with all of this is that the messages that they're trying to get to the audience, which are great messages that they incorporate into the movie, but they just get thrown right in your face because it's a kids movie, and it's just a red flashing light. There's little to no subtlety when they're telling you the messages because they're not really showing it. And that's kind of what this movie does. It just gives you speeches about what the message is instead of just metaphorically telling it throughout the story. So overall, I really enjoyed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I hope that you guys go out and see it this weekend. Support movies like this one because it is just a fun, good time at the theater. It's definitely a movie to take a family to. It's going to entertain everybody. There's jokes for everybody. The action's great. It's reasonably short. And overall, like I said, it's just a good time at the movies. I'd give it a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem in the comments below. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter at ShowMeBaseball and follow me on Letterboxd at Braden Dowers. And we will see you in the next movie review.